I am going to be sharing with you today something very special and someone very special, the lovely Nicola Joss. So Nicola Joss is going to come on and join me today. We're going to do some lovely facial massage, hence the lovely clean face I've got at the moment. And we're going to be focused on facial acupressure to help us really feel good from the inside. And that's going to help us glow through the outside. Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you. I was trying to remember how long it's been since we've done a live together, and I'm thinking, what, 9 months more?
I think so, darling. It's been a while. Okay, so get your hair tied back, guys, if you don't, just so there's nothing getting on your skin annoying you. I'm going to use a gorgeous product, actually, that I've just come across called Dagger Rose Facial Oil by Guy Morgan. Beautiful.
Lovely.
Really gorgeous, natural, and the smell is amazing. So I'm going to use that.
Gorgeous.
So what I think would be good to do is to just, like you're doing, just apply your oil. So get it onto the palms of your hands and then press it onto your skin, everyone, and just kind of hug your face and go down your neck and just open up and awaken the system by doing this. So nice decent amount of pressure, and then you can press onto the forehead. So what's happening is you're immediately starting to tell your muscles and your face and your system that we're going to be doing something. I'm going to start playing.
Yay. Oh, just that in itself is so nurturing, isn't it?
Right.
And already we've stimulated so many acupressure points just through that gentle pressing.
Exactly.
And I think actually, even if we only do that each day when we apply our skincare, it helps the product just get a little bit deeper into the skin, and it just starts the day with that lovely, calming, nurturing touch. So simple, but so effective.
So simple. So you're right. So guys, if you don't have time to do that much, just do this. Just cup and hug your face, and you'll feel bits of tension under the cheekbones, around the mouth area. So just press into it, and that will get your whole system to start moving. It's like body tapping. You know, I'm a huge advocate, as you are, of body tapping. But same with the face. So you can either just there you go. Little tapotment. It's such a beautiful thing to do for yourself in the morning, and immediately you'll start to awaken and feel a little bit more energy, and you're ready for your day. So if you've got no time, this will definitely set things in motion for you. And down the neck, tapping down the sides of the neck. So what you're doing is you're stimulating the lymphatic system as well. Tap, 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 tap. And then down, just where the thyroid is, by the two bones, in the middle is a terminal for your lymphs. So just by tapping that gently, you're moving everything on. So that's one. Easy peasy. Without even going into any major details, you're starting to awaken and open and set those energies flowing. I spoke earlier about like bloating and IBS and your digestive system, but also the colon, the stomach. So all those organs that deal with processing food, but also processing emotion as well. So we hold tension and stress and emotional tension and stress in our face. But that's also imprinted into those organs. So, you know, if you're feeling sad or angry or low, those low vibrating frequencies that don't really serve us, suddenly you feel like you've got a really tense stomach, or your digestive system goes a bit wonky, and, you know, you're not processing food properly. That's because of those emotions that are lower vibrating. They sit in those organs. So we can move that by massaging the face, but also just by applying pressure to those pressure points. So for instance, if we look at like the colon, which is here. So if you go from the corner of the mouth and just diagonally take your finger and go down to the jawline and just press and hold and release. Press and hold for 2 or 3 counts and release, and do that about 5 times. That will start to stimulate not only the emotion that's going on in those organs down in that digestive system, but will help to encourage a better digestive system, help the function also of the colon. So really, you know, for those with bloating and IBS, that's also very good.
And really good actually as well if you've got marionette lines there. Often that stagnant prana or chi, that energy, and also just that lack of circulation there. All of this is going to help that boost the circulation, boost the energy to that area. So you're working inside the body, inside the mind, but aesthetically as well.
Absolutely. And actually, by doing that, as you said, that stimulates everything, that stimulates the muscle. So this muscle here gets a bit lazy and a bit sad, and the pressure of the tension sitting here creates that drooping effect, and the muscles become really stagnant as well. So by pressing that, you're activating. You can actually take the fingers up a little bit higher and go to the corner of the nose, and that way you're starting to stimulate the liver as well. So pressing on that, so it will do everything from stimulate the muscle to give you that much gentler, softer effect here, so more of a lift, but also you're also getting into the liver.
Amazing. And someone's saying, is it good to do before or after eating these acupressure points here?
Really good question, actually. I would do before eating. So I would do these things for if you're waking up and you're bloated and feeling a little bit stuffy and you're not, you know, your mechanics are a bit slow, let's say, I would do that in the morning first thing. So you do your tapping or your pressing and opening up the face, and then go straight in to, first of all, from the corners of the mouth down, hit that colon digestive system, and then you can work it up, stimulating that muscle for a gentle lift and activating, but also starting to connect in with the liver. So this is also really good if you're doing a liver cleanse or a liver detox. So while you're doing that, perhaps you're doing a juicing to cleanse and clean the liver. Also activating the liver by using those pressure points is really important. And there's another point on the face. There's another 2 points on the face for liver. So center of your eyebrows, just about here. And you can actually just where the arch tends to start, right? And just squeeze and hold for a count of 3 or 5, and then relax. In again. And again, do that about 5 times. 5's a nice, easy number. It's not going to take you too long, and it's enough to activate and stimulate that pressure point. Or, you know, you can press straight on with the fingers, whichever is easier, but hitting that point just in the center. And then the other part of the liver stimulation for pressure points is where the eyebrows kind of end here, not right in the center because that's stomach. So to the side of the center point, and again where you can feel the tension that sits in that muscle. So this is also really good for those 11s, or that kind of really grumpy frowning that we get if we're looking at screens, looking down too much, or if we're in a state of worry. So pushing in on that same count, so a count of 3 or 5 and 5 repeats.
And also these are really good if you're feeling quite angry as well, because our liver is very connected to the emotion of anger. So if you feel maybe it's time of the month, maybe PMS, maybe you've got a lot going on, a lot of overwhelm, maybe there's sort of underlying feelings of anger.
Teenage boys,
little girls, whatever it is. Yeah, absolutely. Use these points as well. So even if you're thinking, oh, well, I don't really suffer from the IBS or the bloating, but perhaps for me, it's more emotional. Maybe you're thinking, okay, it's the anger or the stress. These points connected to liver, so good. I love that.
Absolutely, so easy. So that's liver and kind of a digestive system and colon. And then we can also look at like the intestines and the stomach. And the easiest, there's 2 points for the stomach. The one here that I mentioned right in the middle. So that's really good. And again, just like popping your fingers straight on, just below that third eye point. So right on the top of the bridge of the nose. And I often put my thumb at the top of my head on my crown, because it's nice to get a piece of pressure down on the crown. And then just push in, breathe in when you're applying pressure to those pressure points as well. Take a nice long breath in. Hold it for the count, and then let go, release, and exhale the breath.
Amazing. And you can even do that with your thumb as well. You know, you were talking about the thumb at the top. That's really nice as well. Our thumb holds so much prana or energy that actually it's really amazing just to do that. Whichever feels more comfortable, really. You know, it's got to feel comfortable. It's got to feel good, hasn't it?
Absolutely, whatever works for you. And you will intuitively, again, go to the point using the right finger for you. You're right, with regards to the prana and the energy in the thumb, it's so important, and it connects right in with the energy of the body. But also, if you want to do it this way, you're using that energy in the thumb on the crown chakra as well. So it also helps as a grounding mechanism. So you're kind of not letting your energy fly out everywhere, you're pulling it back in. So there's many ways of doing it. That's a nice one. So that's one for the stomach. And the other one for the stomach is the lips. So the lips are really interesting because your upper lip, this top lip, is for stomach. And the bottom lip is your intestines. So really, again, we're working on that same kind of your intestines, your digestive system, any kind of low frequency vibrations that are sitting in the body through anger or, you know, angst or unhappiness or sadness or anxiety. All of those sit and embed themselves in there. So we continue with the stomach. And what I like to do is I like to use my little fingers, just because it's, you know, the lips are a smaller space. And then both little fingers start at the center, and with a decent amount, but not too much, because you don't want to stretch the lip area, but you do want to kind of glide along. So just slowly. So not only is this working for the stomach, but you're helping to get that fuller, plumper lip in a really natural way. And we hold tension and stress in our lip area as well. You think about all the chatter that we do and any other emotions and any other kind of feelings that we have, we use our mouth.
We really do. And often if we've got any sort of food allergies, food intolerances, maybe we're really run down, all of those things can show up as cracks around the lips, cracks at the side of the lip as well. And again, a lot of that can be due to that sort of really stagnant energy. You know, things aren't flowing as they should. So this, so good, just getting everything moving.
It does get everything moving. And also it's really stimulating the blood and the blood vessels and all that circulation going on in the lip area, which again can be quite stagnant. So you'll get that nice kind of pinky color to your lips. You're bringing some life back in there, as well as dealing with the stomach. And then the bottom lip obviously deals with your intestines, as I said earlier. So it's the same process. Both little fingers on that bottom lip in the center, and then just slowly out. And try and keep the mouth relaxed, the jaw. We tend to want to do this, but that's defeating the purpose. So a nice, gentle, soft jaw, relaxing, mouth open helps.
Yeah. And even you can use just a drop of oil, can't you? Or a drop of
lip balm.
Whatever you've got, lip balm, anything like that. And sort of
when
tap
you're
it around
doing,
the lips.
I mean, often when I'm putting my lip balm on, I will do this process, just, I mean, for many reasons, but also aesthetically, it does keep the lips nice and plump as well. I mean, if you had tools, you could use tools, and we can go into that as we're progressing.
I've got tools here. This one's really nice, the precision tool. So you can just, again, you can do almost split your lips in half there and sort of go along and along.
Absolutely. So those are great. You can also use a gua sha if you don't have the precision. So I sometimes will use one of the smaller curd ends, and it's the same thing. Just open the mouth, get the lip onto the lip, and gently. And the coldness is quite nice as well.
Yeah, and same with the top. You can do
now,
that,
if you don't have any tools, go to the kitchen, get a little teaspoon, and do the same thing. Start on the center. Glide out, center, other side.
And keep it in the fridge. That's beautiful, isn't it, as well?
Always. I mean, teaspoons are great if you don't have any tools at hand, because obviously you can do, you know, there's a whole facial series with teaspoons and spoons.
I know, but I always love your fancy teaspoons, your fancy teaspoons.
We don't get to use them in the kitchen. They're mine. The kids are not allowed to take them to make tea with.
I love them.
I love them too. So yes, tools are great. So that's really going to help to work the intestines. And what's happening is we're really addressing how, as I said, how the energy is flowing in the body, any stuck energy in our organs, especially if we struggle from things like IBS or bloating. But if we don't, it's those emotional energies that we're trying to clear as well. And if you're in none of those spaces and you're like, well, I'm good, like everything's fine, my body's functioning perfectly and I'm in a really good mood, then it's a nice enhancement to your facial routine because it's just going to also enliven the muscle tissue and the soft tissue and the blood circulation. So at any level, it's going to work for you.
It is so amazing. And because you've done some gorgeous points for this area and around the mouth, I didn't have any plan. I thought I'll wait and see what you do and then I'll add to it. Let's do jaw and shoulder areas. So we really sort of balance it all out. And something which I talk about a lot, and this is really about self-care, our posture. Our posture is everything. So we spend so much time in this position on our phones, on our screens, even with you, a job that you do, you know, going forward, we're like this all the time. And what often happens then is we're tensing all of this area gets tense, these muscles get really, really tight, we start getting weakness in this area too. So I'm going to show you a couple of acupressure points which will help with that. But first of all, let's just open our arms out like big wings behind us and just breathe deeply in and out through the nose as we just very gently move the head from side to side.
Such a wonderful, easy movement.
So easy. And doing that breath in and out through the nose with just that gentle stretch, it opens everything out and straight away we feel better. So, you know, our theme today really is about that self-care, particularly as we go into those winter months. Just a couple of seconds even of breathing and just a stretch like this straight away helps everything open up. And even if you think, actually, you know, I'm not worried about my posture necessarily, it's going to help the face, you know, from an aesthetic point of view, because when we're like this, I mean, straight away you'll see as I do this, look, the lines it creates here, the lines it creates, the fluid build up here. Whereas when we're opening everything out, straight away the neck's longer, the jaw's more lifted, and soon as we breathe,
the muscles actually, you're activating them, so you're helping to keep the muscles active and useful and bouncy and juicy, because you're right, everything becomes sluggish. And even if you, again, like you said, you don't struggle from posture issues and you're really happy with your posture, 9 people out of 10 throughout the day, halfway through the day, their shoulders are up by their ears. So it's just about even bringing those shoulders down halfway through the day, opening up, like you said. It's such a beautiful movement.
It's so easy. And what you can also do is there's a lovely acupressure point just in this fleshy bit here. I quite like doing it with 2 fingers there. And you can just gently press. And I often say with this one, take care if you're pregnant with this one. But other than that, most people can do this. Press into the point. And it is just such a nice release. You can either hold, you can massage, or you can even just do a little side stretch there. So you're getting that lovely stretch down through the side of the neck there, whilst you press, whilst you massage. And straight away, that helps with everything. It helps with us feeling good on the inside. It helps with that blood circulation. I mean, it's so connected to our face, our shoulder and neck area. So never forget this area. And we can do the same the other side. And it is really just taking these little moments of self-care. I mean, you could sit at your desk, you could stretch your neck like this, you could press this point, massage the point. And don't get too caught up, if you're doing this at home, everyone, don't get too caught up on exact position with this one. Wiggle around a little bit, work through the muscle. That's absolutely fine to do. Give yourself a little massage. You can even do a sort of a squeeze and pull across. Just releasing works so nicely as well. And if we have noticed that our posture through the day has got sort of quite rounded or sort of sinking in, this can often manifest itself as a lot of jaw tension, which then can cause other issues such as headaches, teeth grinding. So an acupressure point which I love is just in the underneath the ear there, just at the top of the jaw. You can press with 2 fingers. Now, most people, I'm going back to 9 out of 10 people, I would probably say 9 out of 10 people, when they press this area, it feels tense and tight.
Yeah.
So you can wiggle here with your finger. I really love that. Little circular action is really, really lovely as well. And really just play with it. And I just find by doing this through the day, it just stops that tension buildup. If you suffer from TMJ disorder, do this as well. You know, it's really, really going to help. And again, as soon as you do that, it makes you just want to lengthen everything up, relax the shoulders, do a few deep breaths with it. That just works so, so beautifully there. So that acupressure point and that one, I would say those 2 are really good for that lower part of the face and upper part of the body, really going to help everything. And then one last acupressure point, and then we'll go to people's questions. I love this one in just the apple of the cheek. So to find it, you pull in, find that little sort of indentation there right under the cheekbone, and just press. And I often call this the beauty point because it just helps with everything. It really helps if your skin's looking a little bit dull, if you're feeling quite sluggish. It's very, very good just for helping you to feel energized in the mind and the body. And you can do little circular motions there as well. I know you love stuff under the cheekbones, don't you?
My favorite. I've got so many tips on that. And the thing about this is sometimes you'll find little gristly, lumpy bits where the muscle's got lots of tension. You can work those through. Be gentle with yourself, right? But you can actually start working those away. I've got one tiny little one there for me.
Yeah. And you can work up. Sometimes I use 2 fingers and sort of massage underneath the cheekbone, work your way up. And like you say, if there's any areas which feel particularly gristly, particularly tight. I mean, we never want to feel pain when we're doing any of these things. No. But if you think, oh, actually, that feels quite tense and I want to get into that, don't be afraid to do that.
No, you're going to be good as long as you're not dragging the skin. I mean, there's another one that I do that's so similar, actually, in putting your thumbs under your chin and using these first 2 fingers, follow the line that causes that anxiety and start drooping. Get to that point with both fingers underneath that cheekbone, and then using pressure very slowly, glide under the muscle on top of the bone, and the release is the same. And especially
so good.
Oh, that crunchiness. So that's just an elaboration on that one that you've shown us, which is beautiful.
So nice. And you can even go there up to your temples as well. And another wonderful acupressure point if you suffer from stress, insomnia, again going back to the anger that we talked about earlier, temples, and you know, being quite intuitive. I know at the beginning you said, you know, we're often quite intuitive with things. When we are stressed or we've got a headache, we often just go straight to that point and let yourself be there. You know, relax the shoulders, lengthen the spine, press the point, and you can even massage. And something which I love doing, I've just completed my Reiki 2 qualification, which has been so interesting. And what I really love doing is just visualizing that Reiki energy, that white light just coming down through this area, down through the arms, into the hands, out of the fingers, and then just visualize it coming into any areas or spots that really need healing there. So you can do that as you do your acupressure. Visualize that white healing light just soothing away anything that's really sort of troubling you or bothering you at the moment.
Beautiful. I'm so pleased you've done your Reiki too.
Oh, I've loved it. Yes. Yeah. I've just finished all because there was a lot of sort of homework. So I had to send Reiki to every year of my life. I had to do distance Reiki to a number of people, had to practice on lots of volunteers. So actually today I've completed all of it. So I'll be sending it all off, which is amazing.
Wonderful.
So I've got to now decide if I'm going to go on and do other sort of other Reiki 3 and then Reiki Master.
I've
done
training.
Reiki? You have,
yes, in my master. And
great.
I was at the same decision. Do I continue on because what I've got now is amazing? But actually, when you keep going into it, it just enlightens everything. And I always do Reiki in my treatments now as well. It's just thrown in as part of the treatment. Throw it in.
Exactly. And that's what I thought, you know, I didn't think too much about it when I booked to do it. I did it through Kelsey Patel, who's amazing.
Yeah.
And she does it with Heather Martin, and the trainer's just absolutely gorgeous. And I saw them advertising it, and it's one of those things, I didn't even think, how am I going to use it? Or is this going to work for me? I just booked it straight away. I was like, yes. And actually, I don't think that I'll be doing sort of Reiki treatments on a regular basis. What I'll be doing, like I've just done there, is just bringing bits into my teaching that I do. And it's really helped as well, me just go a little bit deeper into my intuition and being guided by my intuition, which I've always done. But it's almost just guiding me a little bit more with that, which I've loved.
No, it's wonderful. I think it does. And I'm the same. I do Reiki, full-on healing Reiki sessions, but I like to incorporate it into what I do. And I've activated all the girls that work with me as well. So the whole team are activated. So if I've got someone doing a foot massage while I'm doing my facial, my client is fully immersed into that Reiki healing light. And even not practicing it, but just going and doing it, just to learn those extra skills to help bring you back to you, I think is so wonderful. Well done, you.
I love that. Amazing. Well done, you as well. I hope that I'll continue and, you know, become Reiki master as well. So
you will.
Love it. Love it. There are lovely questions here. Lots and lots of questions. We'll do it for you. Any tips for lifting the jawline area? Do you want to show one and I'll show one?
Yeah, I mean, you know, lifting the jawline is not like you can't do one specific thing. It's about all your muscles are connected. The whole face works together. Your skin, your feet, your hands, everything talks to each other. So with regards to the jawline, what I like to do is obviously when you start on the neck, so you do nice big massaging, circling the neck, gentle up the front and work a little bit deeper as you get to the back of the neck. So you're activating these muscles, you're draining the lymph, you're stimulating the lymph, stimulating those long neck muscles, because then what you're going to do, and then we'll do the other side. So you're just telling them a little story of where we're going and what we're going to do to get to that jawline, to improve the jawline, maybe remove puffiness and help to connect these muscles stronger. So we've done that, and then we want to take our first two fingers and we put that jawbone in between the two fingers, and be very mindful that that index finger is going right underneath the chin. So we're hugging that jawline and using the length and the strength of the fingers, sweep all the way along till you get to that little tension point that we spoke about under the ear. It is often quite tender for people, but that will help to stimulate not only the muscle but the lymph. So you're starting to tell the story of connecting the muscles stronger together and really removing any puffiness. So using the length and the strength of the fingers. And if you want to go a little bit deeper, often tension and stress in a muscle will cause it to be heavier. So by removing that tension and stress, you're really helping to lift that. If you want to go deeper, bend the knuckles and really get into that jawline area and start to reduce any of that pressure and tension, again any puffiness, and you drain that out. That'll drain out through the limbs. And then the final one, it's a 3-step process for the jaw, really, to make it quite simple, is, do you remember we spoke about this one? So instead of going all the way up here, what you're going to do is you're going to grab the chin, go to the corners of the mouth, and then sweep across and up to the ears. So grabbing the chin up to the corners of the mouth, and then pressure all the way to the ears. So you're really starting to make that muscle understand that it's going to be a bit stronger but not heavy. So that will lift. And that's a really good one to do. Ideally, what you want to do to lift this section of the face is start your massage process here and work up, because these muscles up here into the hairline are the ones that are going to keep this section lifted. So remember, just keep going. It's often nice when you get a hair oil and you think, right, I'm going to give myself a head massage. But actually what you're doing is you're activating all this and helping this lift. So connecting those muscles. So there you go, underneath for puffiness and heaviness, and then you can continue working up.
I love that. Amazing. And you can even add a facial exercise into your routine as well. There's one I love where you bring the tongue up towards the nose. So go And then if any lines created here, we use our fingers just to smooth that area, create a bit of resistance. And we gently move our neck back. Take care if you've got any neck issues. Hold for 5 seconds, then we come back down. So we hold here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back down. And then you can take that, keep going for up to a minute. As you do this, you want to feel all those cheek muscles lifting, the jaw area lifting. So what you can do is you can do that, and then you can follow it by the facial massages you have done there, because that's just going to release any tension, because the facial exercises are great, but like with any strengthening exercise, like we know for the body, we often then need to relax it, to stretch it, to massage it afterwards, so we're not holding all the tension in that muscle.
Love that.
Amazing. Someone's asking, what happens if you get a breakout when you do the massage?
Well, if you're getting a skin breakout with massage, there's a few reasons. One, you could be using a product that's not right for your skin, so you need to look at using a product that you're very familiar with to start with. The other thing could be that the underlying congestion will come up because you're stimulating and moving everything. So again, especially in this area, we tend to, if there's something sluggish or stagnant that's sitting under the skin, congestion wise, it will come up because you're naturally just starting to stimulate and clear everything. So it's a good thing that it's coming up because you're clearing. Often it will go down into the lymphs, but if it's sitting higher up in the skin, then it will come out. The only thing I would say to do there is kind of, you can continue your massage because you'll help to clear it all out, but make sure you're using topical products that will help keep the skin clean and healthy on the surface as anything is breaking out. But not to be too worried about it. It's coming out. It's better rather than not.
It is. Drinking lots of water as well.
Absolutely.
Just giving yourself lots of rest as well. That all really helps. We have quite a few other questions. Let's just do one more. Question about the eye area. Tip for baggy eyes. So sort of eye bags in this area. We haven't done much for the eyes today. So should we both do one for that before we finish today?
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Do you want me to start?
Okay, you go, yeah.
Okay, again, a little bit of massage. I'll do the massage and you do the exercise or whatever.
Perfect, let's do that, yeah.
What I like with massage is that you have the tools right here. So we can do tools as well, but I like to use my fingers around the eyes because you have that full connection and you know you can be really gentle. And it's about, so if we've got puffiness under the eyes, first of all, or on fluids on the eyelids, if we take our index finger and just pop it onto the temples and gently just not stretch the skin or pull it, but gently just support it. So just taking it back a little bit to support it, and then taking that middle finger and tapping under the outer eye contour. So what you're doing is starting to stimulate any fluids that's sitting there, starting to stimulate that lymph system. And you can also then start sweeping gently back and forth, and then on that sweep in all the way up to the muscle on the eyebrow where we hold that tension and stress. Push in on that muscle so you feel that tension, and then very slowly with a little bit of pressure work along or just right underneath the eyebrow. So what you're doing here is you're helping to drain those fluids or any bagginess. Bagginess tends to come from the eyes being consistently holding too much fluid. So that's a really nice gentle way of doing it. That you will see a bigger difference quickly as opposed to just using a product. You really want to get in stimulating the system and the skin. And another thing you can do in the morning is either use your cold teaspoon.
What have I got here? Oh, I've got a cleanser one here. That's nice. I use a cleanser one for it. Yeah.
And that will just awaken and start to drain, and you'll tend to help to tighten. I do have a muscle tightening one, but I think you're going to do it. So
yeah, great. You can show us it though. Show us. We love hearing it.
Shall I?
Yeah.
Okay. So another one I do, which is I've done. My mother taught me this one.
Oh, nice.
So to to keep the upper eyelids getting really baggy and hooded, and to keep those tiny, tiny, delicate muscles strong, because they get weak and everything becomes puffy and you start dropping. If you just looking in the mirror at yourself, just straight in the face, take your index fingers on top of your eyebrow, and then gently lift the eyebrow up. And then close the eyes tight for a count of 3. Squeeze them tight for 3, 2, 1, and then open, relax, take the fingers off the eyebrow. Now, the trick with this is you only do it once a day. Because if you overdo it, you're going to overstimulate those tiny little muscles there. The trick is to just do those 3 seconds, and that's you done for the day. So a nice, quick and easy one as well. Yeah. That helps to keep this area nice and toned and tight.
I love that. And I'll just add to that a little eye movement, which I love doing. So if you're very overactive with the forehead area, you can use either 1 or 2 hands, whichever is good to you, and just resting on the forehead. I really like doing that just to keep that frontalis muscle nice and relaxed. We can tend to really overuse it. And then you're just going to widen the eyes. So just focus on the point in front of you, widen the eyes, and really try and do that without raising the eyebrows. So we're trying to train those muscles around the eyes there. We want to use those more, and we want to use this forehead one a little bit less. And I really like doing side to side, just helping to wake up the energy, the prana in the eyes, just boosting the circulation. And if you're suffering from eye bags, this is really going to help to strengthen that muscle around the eye, really help to boost the circulation. You can look up and down, because it's actually amazing how little we use the full capacity, the full movement that our eyes have got. We often, when we're talking or looking at something, we'll move our whole head. When we're expressing, we tend to raise the eyebrows. And this eye area tends to get quite stagnant. So we actually want to wake that area up a little bit more. And those eye movements are also great if you're sat at a desk for long periods of time. Maybe you get eye strain or you suffer from headaches. And again, they can take just a few seconds or even a minute a day. Really lovely to do.
Agreed. I tell you another, I use the one you just did now, because if I'm wearing my glasses, I think it's really good for after you take your glasses off, because my eyes get really tired after wearing glasses. I think it's probably the eye has to still do the work to get to the lens, right? So it becomes tired. So that's a great one for if you're wearing glasses for long periods of time.
That's amazing. Nicola, thank you so much. I feel like we could talk for hours as always.
Yes.
But I will save this live on my channel so everyone can re-watch it, and we must do it again soon as well.
Thank you so much for having me. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful day.
And you. Bye.